There's been one factor that I've overlooked in the past 2 years with making all of these videos about selling beats online. But before we get into that, I want to make you a promise. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to run you through the exact number of YouTube views you would need to possibly hit $1,000 in sales. And if that sounds crazy to you that it can be calculated, it's because you're going to see that you've been missing out on the number one thing that no other selling beats video has ever mentioned. Okay, so I think a lot of producers get caught up in the daily, somewhat boring tasks with trying to sell beats. And if you haven't made a sale yet, your motivation just dies out day by day. And there's a reason for this. A lot of producers are tricking themselves because they simply only try to measure themselves based on plays, or worse, sales. It honestly feels like you're just never growing. You upload a new beat every day, but there's no sale. So I'm going to show you the exact metric you need to look at, which will be able to tell you when you will get your next sale. Alright guys, so I've rewritten this video 3 times now, and I've tried to avoid going deep into the math, but for you to understand this, you need to understand the math. Before we get there though, there's some numbers and definitions we need to understand about e-commerce, because selling beats is simply just like selling any other product online. First is conversion rate. This is how many people purchase your offer. There have been tons of studies done with e-commerce companies. The average is between 1 and 3%. And by the way, I've said this a lot in recent videos, so if you're a recent viewer, I kind of hope you're annoyed by now and that is ingrained into your brain. So essentially what this means is if your store has a 3% conversion rate, we know that if we can get 100 people to the site, we could expect 3 purchases. Now before anything else, I want to prove to you that this is true when it comes to selling beats. These are the back-end analytics for Matthew May, a producer who has 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So to get the conversion rate, we simply divide the number of purchases by website visitors. If the hundreds of studies are true, we will be in the 1 to 3% range. So taking the past 7 months of data we had 701 purchases divided by 29,000 visitors, which gives you a conversion rate of 2.4%. Okay, so I hope that was eye-opening for you to see and maybe confused you a little bit, but what about your next sale or that first $1,000? Well, since we have all this data from Matt, I went ahead and made a calculator that you can plug and play numbers with using Matt's percentages. Now, I also tried to get more data from other producers, but because nobody has Google Analytics set up, there really isn't that much data to get. So for the love of God, get Google Analytics set up. So now before I dive deep into the beat selling math, I need to tell you the 4 variables that make up this equation, so to speak. YouTube views, website visitors, average order value, and conversion rate. Essentially, if you change any of these variables, it can drastically change how much money you make in your beat selling business. So based on everything I just showed you, if we get 100 visitors to our website, we're gonna end up between 1 and 3 sales. Now, this is not plays. I am talking about website visitors. Once again, this means you need Google Analytics installed. So now for you to actually understand this, let's pull in some numbers to assign to these variables. And because I have Matt's website data, we're gonna use that. Now by doing some pro level investigating here, Matt has gotten 686,313 views on YouTube. And this may shock you, but that's only turned into 2,976 website visitors. So going off that data, we will say that we can expect 0.4% of our YouTube viewers to go to our website. Now, I'm not just trying to throw Matt's numbers at you. We're gonna use all this data to show you how you can make your first $1,000. Now, all those YouTube visitors led to $4,696 in revenue over 84 individual purchases, which means that in Matt's case, there's an average order value of about $59 on his website. So now, all we have to do is work backwards, and we're also gonna use some of Matt's variables to calculate this. Remember, our goal here is to make $1,000, and our average order value in this case is $59. So we would need 16 orders to make $1,000. But now, how many website visitors would you need to get 16 orders? Well, I never thought I would ever say this, but luckily, it's just math. For the sake of this example, let's say our website converts at 2%. right in the middle of all those averages out there. So for every 100 website visitors, we will get 2 sales. So if we want to aim for 16 sales, we would need 800 visitors. And then there's just one final step. Going off of Matt's data, we know that 0.4% of views will turn into website visits. So what that means is for every 1,000 views, we get 4 website visitors. So in order to get 800 visitors, we would need to get 200,000 views. Now remember, these are just variables, and this is only accounting for the YouTube marketing aspect side of things. For instance, you could have an unusual case where a producer like Era made an $850 sale from one customer. Or this producer who posted a screenshot about hitting 100 subscribers and had 5,600 views, and then the next day made his first sale. But I really want you to see here that if the average order value increases or if the conversion rate increases, it can help you make a lot more money. Also, if your beats are not good enough, it doesn't matter how much traffic you get. And also, just because you have good beats, if you pay somebody off Fiverr to get you website traffic, that's probably not going to get you sales either. And so essentially, you've been doing all this work, but you have using sales or plays to try and measure how effective it is. When in reality, the one variable of website traffic that will show you how effective your content is and when you can expect a sale, or if you're doing on average results, you haven't been measuring that. And also, if you want to see how you can make the most out of the 97% of your website traffic that won't buy, click this video right here.